Okay guys, so welcome back to another video. I'm doing a kind of old school walk and talk video. I don't really do these very much on this channel anymore, but back in the day, if you look at especially like my really old stuff, I was always making videos about this kind of stuff. And I just want to talk today about sort of some ideas I've had about how to organise my life with regards to how much to sort of lean off from ambitions and focus on optimising things like your lifestyle and my career. Because this is the big thing. I think there are two things you can really focus on in life. One is focusing on optimising your lifestyle and your health and your where you live and how you enjoy yourself and stuff like that, your relationships, all that stuff seems to be in some way kind of interlocked to a certain extent. And then you've got the other thing of your passion or your side hustle, or like for most people there's usually one thing that they double down on that takes priority over everything else. It kind of doesn't really fit into their life, the way that you can kind of optimise for your lifestyle and where you live. So to give you some examples for this, my current sort of side hustle is making YouTube videos, specifically YouTube videos of a kind of travel vlog nature, where I'm going to places around the UK or abroad and sort of filming them, speaking to locals, asking people's questions, stuff like that. That's kind of my focus at the moment, is to make lots of videos and get them so good and get so much following from them that I can effectively turn it into a primary source of income. And also it's very difficult and whatever else, but that's kind of my main focus. But on the other hand, there's lots of other things that I could optimise. Stuff like my health, my where I'm living. I like Oxford, but I don't find it super exciting living here. I'd rather move to a bigger city. Social relationships and stuff like that. And specifically as well, career. And I thought for a long while that I should just not worry too much about career. Basically at the moment, I'm working in a pub. In fact, that's where I'm walking to now. I just work in a pub, and I sort of sacrifice a lot of stuff to work in a pub. I find it very, very boring, very strenuous, very I don't really, I don't have a lot of fun working there, and it's late nights. I'm coming back late in the evening, tired. It's quite hard to stick to a schedule with it, all this kind of stuff. But for a long while I just thought, you know what, YouTube's my focus. It is what it is with the job. When I'm a successful YouTuber in a year's time, none of this will matter. And this has been generally the line that people have sort of told me to think. People like Hamza, to some extent people like Iman Gaji as well. It's just like, don't worry about the job, just do what you got to do to earn the money, but just make sure you focus on the side hustle, because you won't really do it. You won't really make it unless you go all out on the side hustle. And I think there's a lot of truth to this. Be I am slightly less of an extremist about this than they are. So recently I went for a sort of retreat. I just booked a hotel like a couple of 20 minutes drive from Oxford, where I live at the moment. Just this really cheap kind of travel lodge that I found online in this village in the middle of nowhere. I just didn't go on my phone for the entire day and just basically sat in this hotel room and just journaled all my thoughts, and went for walks and all this kind of stuff. I really wanted to sort of separate myself from my day-to-day life and just kind of come away with some revelations. And one of the questions that I really thought about during this day, these couple of days that I was doing this, was what should I focus on? Should I focus on the YouTube, or should I just focus on getting a better job? Getting a 9 to 5 with a bit more structure, You know, not because I want to be on that 9 to 5 forever, but because if I have like an actual decent job, where I'm not washing dishes and cups until, you know, 11 o'clock in the evening, I'll be so much more productive. You know, I'll be able to wake up earlier. I'll have a routine to stick to that'll be easier. I'll make more money, you know, all these kind of things. And again, I had this kind of thing in my head of like, oh no, I should go with the kind of thing of just double down on the side hustle until it comes through. But I really started thinking, like, with the YouTube, it's not like it's right around the corner. Like, granted, I'm making a lot of progress. Like, if you look at my other channel, and this channel, frankly, but let's focus on the other channel. If you look at the other channel, I'm gaining like a lot of followers. Like I'm going up by about hundreds per month. I've gained about 100 followers in the last month. You know, I am on the right track. But ultimately, none of that's really going to matter until I'm earning at least 2K a month. You know, until that point, I really need some form of backup to support me. You know, even if I was moving home with my parents or something like that, which I don't think is a good idea to do for various other reasons. But even if I was to do that, I've still got to worry about paying for things to, you know, places to go to. You know, I need a budget in order to go to the places that I'm going to. So I need some money until I hit 2K a month, basically, or, you know, at least 1K a month. You know, I need to cover my rent and basic living costs. And that's still quite a long way off. And it's basically going to take, that could take quite a long time. You know, it's not a case of like, oh, I'm just going to hit 1K subscribers and then that's the end of the story. You know, there's still like, you know, I've got to build up, that, like, the monetizing the YouTube channel is a long slog. You know, and if it was just a case of like, oh, I just need to hit a certain amount of followers, you know, 1,000 followers, and then I'll be making enough money from it, then it'd be a different story. But the truth is, it's not right around the corner. You know, it's not the case of just doubling down on this for a couple of weeks. Like, this is a really big project that I've got to make this YouTube account really work. And I've got to be able to commit properly to this. And if there are any small adjustments I can make now that are going to help me for the next 6 months, because I think it will take at least 6 months to get that kind of money from YouTube, possibly more, but it could be less, could happen this month, but I think a fairly, you know, let's just say 6 months for the sake of it. Even if it takes me 6 months to get there, yeah, if there's any small adjustments I can make in the meantime, those small adjustments are going to really echo across the next 6 months. Like, you know, working in an office is not great, I get that, but it's so much better than working in a pub. And yeah, so that's just what I think is I should just, like, there's that, if you've ever done sort of yoga nidra and stuff like that, you'll know that they always say this when you're about to start a meditation sort of meditation session. They'll go, is there anything you can do to get yourself even 1% more comfy? And you know, I'm not saying you should take that philosophy here, that you should really adjust every aspect of your life until you're super comfortable and only then double down on your passion and your side hustle. But in this particular instance, I do think you know, there are a few small adjustments that I can make just to optimize my life, where I have like a stable job that's proper, and it would just make it so much easier for me to work on the YouTube in the meantime. And there's just so many other benefits associated with that. I'll have a good rhythm to my life. I won't feel like a complete failure because I'm working in a pub. I'll actually be doing something that's a little bit more interesting than just working in a pub. You know, I'll be surrounded by people who are a bit more kind of people you want to hang out with, you know, all this kind of stuff. So yeah, there's all that stuff to, you know, I might be able to move out of Oxford, go somewhere a bit more interesting, like London or maybe Manchester or something like that. So, you know, there are all these other things. And yeah, I think in this situation, it's better to there's that quote from Shakespeare, like, it's better to be keen and cuss a little than, you know, completely go all in on something, or I can't remember the exact quote, but it's something like that. I think this is a similar situation where, yeah, it's better to just make a small adjustment now, rather than just double down on this project straight away. And granted, it will cost me, like, it could easily cost me like a month getting a new job, like easily. It's very difficult to do, there's a lot of competition out there. And when you factor in, you know, administrative stuff, possibly moving location, blah, 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 all this stuff. Yeah, it could cost me like a month that I could be spending just doubling down on YouTube. But I just think long term, if I had that baseline of a good job, that will make everything so much easier, including my YouTube. And yeah, that's kind of my take on it. It's not very fashionable to say this, and I am departing from Hamza in quite a significant way in his philosophy. That's one thing he's very big on. But I just think I've got to trust my instinct on this. And I found that since I've started looking for new jobs meaningfully, where I work at the pub, time has gone a lot quicker. I haven't minded working so much, because I've got a sense that, okay, this isn't forever. I'm going to get another job that's going to be better, it's going to be easier, and then everything's going to be easier. You know, before I was just spending all my spare time just working on making videos, and that was great. I was still making progress on the YouTube, but there was still a little bit of me that would go to work and just feel like shit. Because I knew that there was something I could be doing about the situation that I wasn't doing. So yeah, there we go. You could either criticize me here not thinking too short term or thinking too long term. Like, it's weird, there's lots of angles to this. But I just think this is the right thing to do. I just think I'm going to run out of steam with this pub job at some point. I'm just going to burn out with it. Because it is just so boring and so meaningless and so, you know, if nothing else, it's just hard to have a good sleep schedule with this, because you're working late nights, and then you'll have one night where you're not working and you'll decide to try and go to bed really early and be like, oh, I'm going to try and get up at 5, and, you know, there's also, you know, if nothing else, just if I could have a 9 to 5 that would allow me to wake up at 5 a.m, that would be so much easier, you know. And it's just like every weekend I will go and do a vlog somewhere. You know, it's just that'd be fantastic if I could do that. So anyway, yeah, that's my plan, guys. Maybe there's something you can take away from this. Yeah, thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think, especially if you disagree with me and you've got a bit more life experience than me. You know, I'm always interested to know what older people think about this plan. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. It's been a pleasure as always, and I've got to go to my shift now, but I'll see you soon.